Separate vacations. We have talked about this before, going on like a solo vacation and maybe spending some time with yourself, which I endorse. I think Mo's into it now also, right?
I did it once to go to Puerto Rico. It took me a lot to build up the courage to do it, but once I did it, I loved it.
Don't have to consult with anybody on decisions about dinner. You can change your minds. Glorious, glorious, glorious.
Whatever you want.
But how about when you're talking about breaking up the family with separate vacations, which is the email that we got here. Hey, guys, this one might be more for Bert, but I'd love to get all of your input. Bert, I've heard you say that you don't force one of your sons to go on vacation with you. I'm a new listener, so I'm not sure how old he is. I think you said he just doesn't enjoy doing the kind of stuff that you and the rest of the family do, so you let him skip vacations, right? Okay, I'll explain that if you're a new listener here in just a second. I have a similar situation, but different. My daughter and I are not the beach/outdoorsy types at all. My son and my husband love the beach, love to water ski, love to snorkel, do all the outside stuff. My daughter and I hate the beach, but we do share a love for plays, musical, the arts, which my husband and my son cannot stand. Do you have any families that take separate vacations? Seems weird not to make memories together, but inevitably, two of us hate the vacations we all take together, and they just aren't fun. Any advice? 1-855-BERT Show if you guys do this routinely. Okay, so what she's referring to in the top part of this is that, yeah, I've got a son that's in college, and he doesn't enjoy the vacations that we go on. So there's me, my youngest son, there's my fiance and her daughter, and we love going to the beach. Same type deal. We love going to the beach. We're up early. We're ziplining.
Excursions galore. Up early. We go to bed late, man, and we're out all day. He freaking hates that, man. He's a quote unquote inside kid. He hates getting up early more than anything else. He doesn't like the sun a lot and like outside air. He likes the manufactured stuff inside. He's not a big fan of light. Sunlight?
Yeah, sunlight, right? Blue light on a computer, that's fine. But sunlight, not so much, right? He likes to be on his computer. He's more introverted. We annoy him. We annoy my oldest son. And to spend a week with us, he is annoyed doing things with people he doesn't necessarily like. He's just like not a big like family guy. He just doesn't connect that way. So look, I've offered to take him to Africa with us on safari. And his first question was, what time we got to get up? And I'm like, it's probably going to be pretty early, bro. Yep. And he's like, nah, I'll skip. I'm like, you're skipping a safari? Yeah, I'm going to skip. Hey, Hayden, you want to go to Hawaii, Maui? What time we got to get up? Is there sun there? So he didn't want to go to Hawaii, and I mean, I've offered so many times that now I don't even offer. Like, I know if we're going.
Oh, you should always still offer.
Why?
Because it's your child.
One day, yeah.
You always still give him the offer.
Okay. All right. I'll offer today to go to the Bahamas just so he can consistently tell me that, no, I don't like hanging out with you or your family.
Haven't you realized being a parent isn't about your feelings?
It's just I know he's going to say no. You know, if he says no to a safari, he's going to say no to going to Florida.
Probably.
Chances are.
But you're probably right.
But
I should
there's
probably
that 1%.
Honestly, I swear to you, I don't even ask anymore. But you're right, I should. So that's what she's talking about. As far as like going separately, I'm torn about it.
Yeah.
Like I understand because when you're on vacation, if one person is miserable, it will jack up the entire vacation, to be honest with you.
But that's when you have a conversation beforehand. So for me, when I read this, and depending on how much vacation time you get and what the finances look like, I know all that comes into play. But in a perfect world, if you could do this. So, you know, you hate the beach and your daughter hates the beach, but your husband and your son love it. So when you are in a committed, loving relationship, you do things for the other person that may not be your cup of tea, but it's their cup of tea because you love them. Now, it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your happiness constantly, but I feel like in this instance,
You do 2 vacations. One where is a beach vacation, but you have to put your happy face on. You can't go and be a Debbie Downer, Mopey McMoperson, and like ruin it for everybody. Like,
Harsh words, Kristen.
I know, Mopey McMoperson. I only bring out the Mopey McMoperson when I'm very serious. And the same goes for them. Like, they need to.
You can't fake that for 5 days, though. You can't. Inevitably, you cannot. You could say, yes,
for
let's
the
go.
person you love?
For
your child?
You can't. You can't. You'll say, yes, I'll do it. And then you get there and you're just miserable. And
Well, suck it up, Buttercup.
That's how I feel too. That's what we had to do. I mean, because it wasn't to this extreme, but we definitely have different interests as a family. And so, yeah, there was times my mom would want to do something, my sister didn't want to, I want to do my. But that's a part of life. There are times when you kind of do have to suck it up to sacrifice for someone you love. So, I mean, we would just take turns. If we go and do this kind of trip this time, then we do the other kind of trip next time, and you got to find ways to enjoy both.
I feel like there's a compromise there.
yeah, and I guess where I'm getting conflicted is you're passing up on memories if you do this a lot.
I know.
If you consistently take a vacation with your daughter and your husband goes with her son, it's consistently not having shared memories together. So I can see it from time to time, but when it becomes regular, man, that doesn't sit right consistently.
Nah, you got to find a way to enjoy your family, regardless of what y'all do. Like, there should be a way where you love the people you with. So even if it's not doing what you really want to do, you should still find a way to enjoy yourself.
Perfect example. My husband had 0 interest in going to Disney World. Not on his bucket list, had never been, didn't want to go, not his cup of tea. But my family went. We took our niece and nephews, and he was there with a smile on his face, giving shoulder rides to the kids. I mean, I got to hear him bitch at night in the hotel room, but in front of the family.
That's how you do it.
In front of the family, and that's what you do. You make those, sacrifices. Now, I don't think you have to make them on the daily, but I think occasionally that's just, it's a kind thing to do.
Good morning, Carol. You are part of the Burt Show. Hello.
Hello. How are y'all this morning?
Fantastic. Now that you called, what's going on?
I was just calling to say that I disagree. I think that, of course you want to go on vacations together, but sometimes doing it separately is a really good thing. I mean, for instance, recently I went on a retreat with my daughter, and my husband and son did something else. And we had an amazing time, and they had an amazing time. We came back, we talked about it. Everybody was excited and happy and good. And, then I went to this other thing with my son, and my husband went to something with my daughter. And they had an amazing time, and they came back and told us about it. So you build those memories together, but you also build them separately and then kind of together.
As long as you're doing all of it, I totally agree, Carol.
Yeah.
As long as you're getting a mix of all of it, I think that's great.
Yeah, I don't think we're disagreeing at all. I think if you do it every time, though, don't you feel like you would miss on those shared memories together?
Absolutely, yeah. But doing it sometimes I think builds bonds that you wouldn't be able to build otherwise.
Right.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm taking Hollis to England for a huge soccer match. And that one's just he and I. Because that's the kind of thing that we do together. And Tiff was like, no problem.
And aren't you and Hayden supposed to be going to Tokyo at some point in time?
Japan. But yeah.
That is
the guideline. Yeah.
Japan.
I don't know if it's going to be Tokyo or not.
Oh, okay. I was like, is Tokyo not in Japan?
Look at me.
But yeah,
Okay.
at some point, it's open, yet not open. So as soon as
Gotcha.
it.
Yeah.
Hey, Melanie, good morning. You were on the Burt Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
I just want to say I love you guys. I've been listening to you since I used to live in Atlanta. I actually talked to you on the day I was driving out of town to move to Florida, and I still listen to you online. So
Thank you.
How's Florida going, girl?
it's Florida. You know?
Enough said.
So I wanted to say that I'm a military brat, and when I was younger, we had went on a vacation. We lived in Germany. We went with my family, with me, my parents, and my brother, to Spain. And my brother and my dad, we went the year that the Olympics were there. And looking back, I wish I would have done it just to check that box. But me and my mom, we wanted to go to the beach, and my dad and my brother, they wanted to see a track, thing on the Olympics. And so we split up, and they had a great time. We had a great time, but we still made memories together. And now I'm a single mom. I've got a boy and a girl, and they have different likes, different, abilities. My daughter has special needs. So one summer I had my parents watch my son, and me and my daughter went and did our own thing. And then my son's really into hockey. He's a hockey goalie. And so my parents watched my daughter, and me and him, we went to Nashville, went to the opening, game night of the Predators. So I think it's perfectly fine to do things separately as long as you're still making memories together.
I appreciate you calling, and thank you for your loyalty. Appreciate you.
All right, bye.
Yeah, I think there's only one solution to this whole thing. You got to go on vacations where everybody is equally miserable.
Yeah, there you go.
The Burt Show.
So, first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get The Burt Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.